Okay, well, moving along, we have a question here about Alpha Pro Tech, which is an interesting one in a COVID sort of situation. So what are your thoughts there?
Well, that's a great question, and it's a great company. It's one of the most fascinating companies out there. So, for the viewers who don't know, Alpha Protec has two lines of business. First, they make medical masks and medical garments, they manufacture them. And then, second, they manufacture construction materials like house wraps or weather seals for houses. So, they have two very distinct lines of business. And what we did was we purchased them in 2012 at $1.17. So nice low price. At the time, we thought it was a great buy because it had a clean balance sheet, good insider ownership, and dilution wasn't an issue. Income statement looked great. And then the real kicker was every time there's a health scare, this company just takes off because of its exposure to this medical manufacturing and mask manufacturing. So in October 2014, as many people will remember, the Ebola outbreak was in full swing. So we sold a good chunk at $3.34. And then literally a week or two later, we sold even more at nearly $7. And then that died down, and we held the remainder of our position until February 2020, when COVID really took off. And we sold shares at $7.65. And we thought we had done a pretty good job. I mean, versus where we bought it at $1.17, that was a great win.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, we were a little premature because what then happened was the stock really took off. The chart, which we could put up for viewers, may show a high in the $20 range, but intraday, it was swinging up to $40 at times. So it went absolutely crazy. And, we left a lot of money on the table for other investors because of that. But it's just so hard to say. How do you value hype? I don't know. And that's what was going on at the time. Just everybody wanted it because they're one of the few kind of pure plays on mask manufacturing. I would say now that COVID's, I'm not going to say it's behind us, but now that we're moving through it, the stock has died back down. It's now trading back under $10. It's being added to the Russell Index, and as you would expect, the sales for this company have now gone through the roof. They've more than doubled in the past year, from just under 50 million to over 100 million, purely thanks to COVID and the demand that governments and companies and consumers have put on manufacturing medical masks.
Yeah, wow. And I mean, do you think you'll ever own it again, or what are your thoughts there?
Mm-hmm. I would love to own it. We'll see. Has to get lower for sure before we consider buying it again, though, because of this dynamic that it has of shooting through the roof when health issues arise. It does make it attractive for that reason. So I would love to own it again, and we'll just see if we get another run at it at some point here. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, sure. Are there any other companies that are similar that we should be watching?
Yes and no. There are other companies like it, but there aren't any companies that are as purely leveraged to mask manufacturing. 3M, for example, manufactures tons of masks, way more than Alpha Protec does. But 3M is a sprawling industrial with divisions everywhere. So the impact that something like COVID will have on its bottom line or its revenues is fairly negligible, and it doesn't move the stock. There are a few other smaller players, but again, none of them are as kind of purely focused on mask manufacturing like Alpha Protec. So they're a little bit unique in that regard.